Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European pairs, and we're looking at the Euro US here in this wave 4 here. Just give a bit of perspective here. So basically, we're looking at wave 3 here, and we're moving sideways in a complicated wave 4 correction. It's that simple. It's that complex. And we think that because each structure is in three waves in terms of the A wave here, the B wave very simple in 3 waves, and we can see now that this has moved down through here. It's helped us confirm the triangle pattern of wave C here being in 3 waves as well. So that means that we're looking for wave D here, and not all triangles are like perfect in the sense. I mean, we tend to think of triangles in a nice sort of form like this, and if they come down from this direction, they'll be a 5-wave structure, and then they'll move down with each leg being in here 3 waves each. So if it came the other way, if a market came up this way here and then had the corrective pattern across here, then it would move up from that point. So we know that the move across here is corrective. We know that each leg here has got 3 waves in it. We're looking for the D wave now. It is possible to count this move down here as 5 waves. It's also possible to count it as 3 waves. But when you look at it on this daily chart here, it's not really displaying 3 waves, is it? I mean, it's kind of all the same leg in a way. So this is currently the 61.8% retracement level from this low to this high here. So it's probable that we would see some sort of bounce here. Now, it's possible that we could put wave D here and call this 3 waves down, but it doesn't really look like 3 waves, not like C wave here. We know that as each, in a triangle pattern, what's actually happening in that triangle pattern, it's actually each swing is diminishing into the ratio of the 61.8%. So we could look at this as like, well, we have this first wave A here, and it's whatever size it is. Then we would expect the next structure to diminish and diminish and diminish and diminish, So we could say that the time spent in this one here may be less than this first one here, and then the same with this one as well, and then the same with D. But even though D is already pulled down to the 61.8% retracement level, it doesn't really look like it's got 3 waves there. So I think we need just to keep an open mind a little bit. Now, and we'll investigate this trend here a little bit, but I think it's possible that in either way, we've got this as the wave A here and a B and a C wave here for wave D. I think that's possible. If we're wrong here, then wave D would go here. Then we'll still be looking for wave E here as wave 4, and then we'd be looking for further downside of that point there. But we can't go there yet because it just doesn't sort of fit here. But I think if we stay with what we know here and we look at this as obviously there's going to be some support coming into this area through here as well, isn't there? I mean, that's logical for it to do that. It's like this moving up here into this supply zone here, this where the most volume was turned over in this one here, and this is the same as here. So basically it's a bouncing ball against previous support and resistance, and we're deep in support here, so we can expect some sort of move here. We're also sort of seeing the stock market move up as well from in its structure as well. So just moving in here on an intraday basis. So on this 2-hour chart here, I know that on our website we're looking at this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, and that's all fitting and that's all nice and so on. But this also counts as 5 waves here, and I think that we need to sorry, just double checking stuff here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. It counts okay like that. So yeah, so basically we're still looking for the rally here. I thought it may have come from this particular low here because we traded short down here, but we've got this little extra leg here, and this is what I want to talk about in here as such, and we'll need to go to the 15-minute chart. Should do the trick here. So what we were sort of looking at the other day, I mean, we talked about this top here, and we talked about shorts and so on, and we're looking for an exit and so on. So, we'd counted this here. We had this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, which was the logical thing to do at the time, and wave 3 here, 4 here, and 5 here. But I can see obviously we've got this extra leg here, so we need to bring this down into a different scenario. So we need to have all of this now. This is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then the A, the B, and the C for wave 2, the third wave here. Now we can also note here too that normally wave 3 is not the shortest move in the pack, out of wave 1, 3, and 5. But wave 1's got the extension in it. I think we might have talked about that too, actually. Wave 2, wave 3, and if wave 4 is going to be here, well then wave 5 is going to, this wave 5 is going to be, same size or smaller than wave 3 here. And that's certainly the case, and we can see that pushing up from there. Now, I've had a little bit of a look at how this sort of ends here. So we definitely can put wave 4 into play here. But none of this here really counts very nicely as completed here. If I go to a 5-minute chart here, and we can look at it. So this is wave 4 here. I mean, it's possible to have this, all of this here down, because we're looking for 5 waves. So we have, well, basically, I'll go through it. 1, an A and a B and a C for 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. So that's how that would count down as wave 1, and then wave 2. And then I can see that we've got 5 waves down here as wave 3 here. Wave 4 obviously overlaps wave 1 here, and then wave 5 here. So I'm a little bit unsure about this situation, how this is sort of finishing here. It's not a very clear sort of finish here. We are seeing impulse waves move to the upside here. We just need to, see how it sort of pans out. I mean, it's obviously, with this really choppy price action here, it's probably showing some big volume coming in and changing the trend as such. So I think it's kind of important to look on the long side, but also to, with that in mind, we're looking at, this market moving into, all this resistance really, isn't it? From all of this here, that's where the supply is. So that's really where the market's going to struggle from. So, any move that's moving up here is going to meet the resistance here and come back. So I suggest that there's no need to rush into this here. If you see some sort of corrective pattern that's in clear 3 waves here, and we'll pick it up on the London opening, then, if it's corrective in 3 waves coming back, then you can move into the upside from there. But otherwise, we just need to be a little bit careful. Once this, perhaps even the 88 here will do the trick as well. That's probably, oops. Just getting these tools to work. So that 88 would be important. If that becomes the support here, then you can go along from there. But just be a little bit careful because this is not resolved here, and we also don't have a very clear 5 waves up from a particular low just yet. So would need a session to do that. We need to see this market on top of this supply level here. That's the main thing. Otherwise, it can certainly have another move down in terms of, as rough as it all is. If we call this wave 1 to here, wave 2 to here, this is wave 3 to here, possibly this can be an A and a B and a C wave for wave 4 here, and then have wave 5 come down for another low here before we go up. So it is important that this block here, this block of supply here becomes the support. You could use this number here with a small amount and then look to add on to the 9,109 if that's the case. With the US yen here, we've got a wave count on our website where we're looking for this wave 4 here. So this wave 4 here would come to play over here once we finish this little upside here, and that would play out as a little 5-wave structure here in terms of 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. Now that's all fine and that's good, and we're going to allow that to play out to that point there, okay? But this alternative count that I have here, I'll just leave that to the side there, and we'll look at this here. So what we'll do here, we'll look for a long trade, but we'll just, so this is this trade, this analysis that's here has this wave 4 low in here, and this is wave 1 and 2 and moving up here. So if we get wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, then technically with the other count that we've got, we should see this basically move down from here, okay? But if we see this move down in 3 waves here, as an A and a B and a C wave here, and we can confirm that this move is corrective in 3 waves, then we're going to look to go to be on the long side there. Okay, that's it's just as simple as it gets at that point for this. So that's what we're waiting for that particular setup to see if we're going to be going down or up from this point once this structure here finishes. Okay, the pound yen, I want to talk about this for a moment. We've been looking at this in a bearish mode here, and that's still on the cards. Now, we had this wave 3 here, so we're in green wave 2 down to green wave 3 here. Now, we had this situation here where we were looking for wave 4 here to pull back 38.2%. So that's basically where it is here at the moment, even a tad above it. So that was fine. But what we noted is that in this move up here, it was not a corrective pattern. It was actually in 5 waves moving up there. So that sort of rang alarm bells. And we'll look at that on a 15-minute chart. But the possibility for this to be over here now and looking for a short trade is certainly on the cards right from that current high straight down to here at this moment. So we need to look at that. We did trade, have a long trade in here, and we now need to exit that. So it's possible that this wave 3 here, basically what I'm saying is an A and a B and a C that's moved up above the 38.2 retracement level. But I think that that's sort of okay, but we would need to develop some some strategies to handle whatever's going to happen next. So let's just go to the 15-minute chart and drill into that a little bit. Now, on this 15-minute chart here, we noted that the move up that we were looking for here, whoops-a-daisy, let's get these things working properly. This move that was moving up here, it was a very clear 5-wave structure. And then we looked at this being back down as the sort of A, B, and C structure here. So we'd been working this to the upside here. So if you've gone long here, then we should exit right now in this one here, and even look to go short. But obviously we want to get some. We want to get a little bit more evidence before we do that. I mean, it's okay certainly to trade the turn if you've got that, but in this move here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5 here. So, there can be one more little high here by the looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to pull that apart. But anyway, the main point is that most of it's sort of done and dusted from here. So we can clean this up here a little bit. Just clean these up. So the main point is to, this should actually be an exit here. So exiting at this point, yes, it can go higher from here, but let's gather some evidence for that. So when we come back to the next session, we'll look for a short setup or a long trade setup from here. Let's just bring that in here. So the 160 is going to be important. So if there is one more wave here, which there should be, because this has got 1 and 2 here, there's probably all the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th here. So anyway, I'll let you play that out here. But what we need to see here, we either need to see an A and a B and a C correction coming back into this space and then up, or we're going to be looking at 5 waves down here. And if we do get the 5 waves down, well, then we'll be looking for the counter trend back in 3 waves, and then we can short here. I mean, basically, before we do anything, we really need to know if we've got 3 waves or we're looking at 5 waves here. If we've got 5 waves here, then we can short this side over here. If we've got 3 waves here, then we can continue to build into this side over here. So we'll let that play out. There's no big deal just here at the moment, but let's just see what unfolds, and we'll just gather the evidence, and then we'll trade what we see from that point. Now, the cable here, as we've mentioned, as I mentioned a lot here, is that we just didn't want to get involved at the 140 here, because we also knew that we've got 3 degrees of wave 4s here. They're all been playing out perfectly. We're just not interested in this yet, so I'll just really going to move on from this point. And the euro yen, just quickly here, we've had a bit of fun with this market and done reasonably well out of it. So what I'd like to do now is really just sit tight here. And what I want to find out is if we're going to get 5 waves from the turn here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. If that's the case, then we can look for the A, the B and the C pulling back 60%, and then we'll go in long on this side over here. If we only get 3 waves up here, then what we'll need to do is we will look from whatever that high is, whatever move comes. If we got 3 waves here, then we still need to wait for the 5 waves down as such, and then we still need to wait, because the 5 waves will confirm the direction, and then we'll get it on the counter trend here. So not a lot here. And also too, we want to see how the US yen plays out, and also the euro US dollar plays out as well. So I just really want to leave this here until we get the next setup here. If you've gone long off the 123, we can. So yeah, I mean, the 123 presented a perfect setup. It's a classic trading levels pattern where we have an impulse wave to the upside here as wave 1 or wave A, and then the A, the B and the C here, and then moving up and just simply taking out this high. Originally you would have had this one and then this one, and then bringing it down to this one here. So if you're long here, the probability is that this is either wave A or 1 and 2 here, and then we'll have this as wave 1 and 2, and there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. So this is still wave 4 here. So there's one more push here. So I would suggest that, and this wave up here will be the same length as this one, or in fact it should be 61.8% of the length of wave 3 here. So somewhere into this space here. But that would only give us, at this stage, that would be an A and a B and a C wave here. That's only 3 waves to there. So we still need to see if we're going to get wave 4 and wave 5 here. And if that's the case, then we'll know where we are. We'll know what to do at that point. Or we're just going to get to this top here, and then we'll just fade from that point. So we do need to clarify what we, what we've actually got here at this point here. So there's not a lot sort of cooking here either. So let's just give it a session, and we'll know where we are from that point. Cheers.